All right. Now, we get to honor someone at this wonderful event. And this is someone very special because he has been a role model for our children. For years and years, a positive example to children looking for hope and inspiration in their lives. And in a country that for a long time didn't see all its people, he was one of the people who helped change that. Are there any fans of the show Sesame Street here? Anyone who ever watched Sesame Street? Anyone ever showed their children Sesame Street or their grandchildren Sesame Street? Well, if you know Sesame Street, then you know the character Luis the Fix-It Man. I have a personal interest in this character because Luis sang with a relative of mine, Big Bird. And he famously taught Elmo to say, "Me llamo," a great moment in Sesame Street history. The actor who played this role, who showed people our whole society in a positive way, gave a positive impression to our children. I want to invite him to the stage. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Emilio Delgado. First. You got a fan club. Now, Emilio, remember at a time when if you saw diversity on television, it often was with stereotypes and not the good kind of stereotypes. Emilio was one of the people who broke the mold, created a positive role model for everyone, but particularly for children who didn't get to see or hear people who looked like them and spoke like them. And for generations of kids, and that includes my kids, thank you, Sesame Street showed them a world of equality and fairness and justice where everyone was valued. This is what Emilio played a key role in, teaching kids from the youngest years. And now he has continued his work traveling the country as the lead actor in a show called Quixote Nuevo, a modern Don Quixote, with a focus on teaching powerful and positive lessons on the issues of today, on immigration, on mental health, on self-empowerment. Emilio keeps using his stage to do good. And he gives of himself. He's part of the Mount Sinai Children's Hospital, Project Sunshine, which does so much for children, particularly around the holidays. He has done so much for this city, so much for this country, so I have a proclamation, first of all. And now, Emilio, the proclamation, it looks nice and it says a lot of nice things about you and they're all true, but the best part is the last line. And the last line says, I, Bill de Blasio, Mayor of the City of New York, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, October 15th, 2019 in the City of New York as Emilio Delgado Day. Ladies and gentlemen, Emilio Delgado.
Absolutely amazing. Mi gente! Hey! Bienvenidos a todos ustedes. Qué gran placer estar aquí con todos. Me alegro muchísimo. Muchísimas gracias al señor Mayor Bill de Blasio. Muchas gracias. I would like to thank everybody that had anything to do with this. All you representatives from the administration of New York, all of you assemblymen and everybody else here, and all of the people that are here celebrating this day. Muchísimas gracias. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and of course a big honor, a most amazing honor for me to be honored in this way. A prestigious award. Thank you very much. We at Sesame Street always prided ourselves in doing the work that should have been doing by all governments.
We learned on Sesame Street to be polite, didn't we? Okay, so stop chatting for a moment and listen to our guest of honor.
As I was saying, we at Sesame Street are very proud of the work that we did. This year we're celebrating 50, that's 50 years of Sesame Street on the air. During that whole time, we were so proud to be informing children and their families. No matter what your color, no matter what your language, we offered everybody a window to the whole world so that they could see that there were people of different colors and different languages and that they ate different food and dressed differently. All those children were exposed to the world as they are to this day. We are proud of that work. I myself am proud personally for 50 years that I've been working as a professional actor to have been struggling all that time to change the misrepresentation of Latinos and Latinas in all forms of media. Be it film or television or lo que sea, we need to be represented as who we are, as gente, as people in this world, and that's what we're heading for. It's a tough job, but it has to be done, and it will be done, either by me or somebody else. It's going to be done. I felt like an immigrant when I first came to New York 48 years ago when I arrived here. Did you know that? I arrived here 40. And I arrived here with my huarachis on and my jeans and my guayabera. Little did I know what a winter was in New York. Ay, ay, ay. I soon went and bought my sweaters and scarves and gloves and hats and boots and everything else. But when I came, like I say, I felt like an immigrant. And if we think about it, every one of us here who are residents of New York, in one way or another, in our histories, we were all immigrants as well, no matter where we came from. Our histories go back. We're all inmigrantes. The only people who are not immigrants are the indigenous people who were here to begin with. And they are still here. Honor them, respect them. They are still here. Amen. That's absolutely right. Now, I discovered recently that Mr. de Blasio and I share the same birth date. We were both born on May 8th, right? I got a few years on him, but you know, it's like they say, birds of a feather, right? Birds of a feather. Which reminds me, I have a friend who is a pájaro. Maybe you all know him too. His name is Big Bird. Hey, Big Bird. When I first came to New York, I met him on the street, Sesame Street, that is. And we've been friends ever since. El pájaro y yo. I want to make a special thank you here for somebody in my life who really keeps everything very well balanced and going just right. Someone who I think is a genius, who is a person that is wonderful in every way. And actually, she's my angel. My wife, Carol Delgado. Gracias, mi amor. Gracias. So, in parting, I just wanted to say that I'm very proud to be a Chicano. Mexicanos. Centroamericanos. Caribeños. Sudamericanos. Brasileiros. Everybody. We're so happy to be here. Muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes y que disfruten el resto de la pachanga. ¡Hasta luego!